Welcome to the Meditation Nest, Bedtime Stories for Adults. I'm Beth Buttram, your host and narrator. Here, stories become gentle meditations designed to help your thoughts unwind as you slow the tempo of your life and embrace the night ahead. I invite you to slow your breath, soften your thoughts, and find peace as you drift into sleep. This is your time to rest, reflect, and dream. Tonight's story is called Dreams of the River. It takes place in a landscape, both real and imagined, a place where rivers carry not only water, but memories, and where dreams drift like leaves upon the current. This is a story about curiosity, the quiet courage to follow where life flows, and the still peace that waits when we learn to rest in its rhythm. And with that, it's now time to settle in as Dreams of the River begins. The first sound was always the same. The hush of water moving through darkness, not rushing, not loud, but steady like the slow breathing of the earth itself. When Raquel dreamed, she always began there, standing by the river's edge, bare feet sunk into cool silt, the scent of moss and night-blooming flowers soft in the air. She never remembered how she arrived, only that she was meant to be there. The river was wide but gentle, its surface rippling under the dim silver of starlight. On its banks grew low ferns, tall grasses, and trees with roots that reached into the current as if they too longed to drift. Raquel knelt and dipped her hand into the water. It was cool and alive, curling around her fingers before continuing downstream. Each time she visited, the river was a little different, sometimes shallow and clear, sometimes deep and shadowed, but always familiar, as though it remembered her. And each time she wondered where it led. She'd tried following it before, only to wake halfway through as if the dream had a border she couldn't yet cross. But tonight, she felt something new in the air, a quiet invitation. The water seemed to shimmer, whispering softly against the rocks. "All right," she murmured, smiling. "Let's see where you go." She stepped into the shallows, the river curling around her ankles, cool but not cold. The current pressed gently against her, guiding her forward. Her reflection wavered, not a perfect mirror, but a mosaic of light and movement. As she walked, the river deepened, and so did the world around her. The banks grew softer, curving wider with each step, the gentle hush of water blending with the distant chorus of crickets. The trees thinned and gave way to open fields where fireflies hovered like slow-moving constellations, their lights flickering in the shadowed air. The grass brushed her fingertips, damp and fragrant, each blade glistening with beads of dew that caught the starlight. The scent of earth and wildflowers mingled with the breath of the river, as if the land itself was dreaming alongside her, inviting her further into the night's quiet embrace. The river bent and meandered, always beckoning her onward. At times, she thought she saw faint shapes in the current, not frightening, just curious. The silhouette of a boat without a rower, a cluster of floating flower petals, a faint glimmer like laughter made visible. It was as though the river carried fragments of other people's dreams. She began to hum, not a song she knew, but one that rose naturally from her chest, syncing with the rhythm of the water. The sound felt grounding, the way breathing feels when you stop trying to control it. The greenery around her seemed to sway in rhythm with her song, as if the tune was familiar and welcomed in this dream world. After a while, she reached a place where the river widened into a small lake, its surface still as glass. The stars above reflected so clearly that it seemed as if she were standing between two skies. At the center of the lake stood a single willow tree, its long branches trailing into the water like strands of hair. The sight was strangely comforting. Something about the stillness made her chest loosen. She wandered closer, each step slow, the mud soft beneath her feet. When she reached the tree, she placed her hand against its trunk. It was warm, alive with quiet vibration. The branches stirred gently, and a single droplet of water fell from a leaf onto her wrist. She looked down. The droplet shimmered, and within it, she saw a memory, not her own. A child skipping stones, a mother's hand brushing hair from a sleeping face, a man standing at a train platform, watching snow fall. Tiny, luminous moments, simple, fleeting, yet filled with such tenderness that she felt tears prick her eyes. The river wasn't just carrying dreams. It was carrying remembrance, the small, beautiful truths that people forget when they wake. Raquel exhaled slowly. "You keep their stories," she whispered. The willow rustled as if in agreement. She stayed there for a long time, listening. The lake made a faint, rhythmic sound, like the steady beating of a faraway heart. For the first time, she didn't wonder where the river ended. She simply stood, feeling the world breathe around her. Then, faintly, she heard something new, a sound beneath the water, soft and resonant, like a voice calling her name. She hesitated, listening. Raquel. It wasn't frightening. It was familiar, as if spoken by the river itself. She knelt by the roots of the willow and looked into the water. Beneath the surface, she saw her own reflection again. But this time, her reflection smiled first. "Do you remember?" it asked softly. Raquel blinked. "Remember what?" The reflection tilted its head, still smiling. "You've been here before, not just in dreams." And suddenly she did remember, not as a story, but as a feeling. Years ago, when life had been loud and hurried, she'd once walked beside a real river on a day when she felt lost. The air had smelled just like this, damp and clean, full of green things growing. She had sat on a rock and wept, letting the sound of the current hold her. She had promised herself then that she would learn to move as the river does, steady, patient, unafraid of change. And somehow that promise had followed her here, to this dream. The reflection's eyes softened. "Then you already know the way." Raquel closed her eyes. The river hummed around her, its sound deeper now, more complete. When she opened them again, the reflection was gone, but the feeling remained, a deep sense of trust. She stood and looked downstream, where the water flowed out of the lake and back into motion. The current gleamed silver and sure. She smiled. "All right," she said again. "Let's keep going." As she followed the current, the landscape shifted gently. The trees grew taller, the air cooler, filled with the faint scent of cedar and stone. The moonlight filtered through the branches, dappling the water in silver patterns. Every so often, she saw glimmers in the current, faces, places, half-formed dreams. But now she recognized them not as mysteries to solve, but as reminders that all things are connected by the same flow. She waded in until the water reached her waist, then her shoulders, and finally lifted her feet, letting herself float. The current carried her easily, rocking her like a cradle. She felt no fear, only the deep, quiet joy of surrender. Above her, branches drifted past. Below her, the river whispered. The water held her completely, like an embrace that asked for nothing in return. Time thinned. The stars blurred into soft ribbons of light. The air cooled, then warmed, then disappeared into the sensation of movement itself. She didn't know where the river was taking her, but for once, she didn't need to know. Eventually, the current slowed. She felt herself coming to rest against a smooth bank lined with reeds. The night was still, the air heavy with the scent of wild mint. She sat up slowly. The river here was narrow and calm, its surface smooth as silk. The moon hung low above the horizon, large and golden, and there on the opposite bank, she saw herself again, but not the reflection this time. It was her, and yet not her. The part of herself that watched, that waited, that understood. The other Raquel smiled softly. You followed it all the way. Raquel nodded. I think I finally stopped trying to steer. That's how the river carries you, said her other self. Not by force, but by invitation. The two versions of her sat there in silence, the river flowing gently between them. The sound was steady, eternal. Then the figure across the water began to fade, not vanish, but dissolve into light, like mist touched by the morning sun. Raquel felt no sadness, only stillness. The river's song softened to a low hum, like the last breath before sleep. She lay back in the grass, feeling the cool, damp earth beneath her palms. The air shimmered faintly, the edges of the dream beginning to blur. She whispered to the river, "Thank you." And in reply, the water rippled once, carrying the words away. When Raquel woke, the first sound she heard was, as always, the hush of water. But this time, it was the sound of real rain outside her window. She smiled in the dark, listening. Her real-life world smelled of earth and renewal, almost as if in homage to the dream world she had just experienced. She realized this may have been the final time she dreamt of the river. But she also knew she didn't need to. The current was within her now, flowing quietly beneath every waking moment. She turned onto her side, the soft rhythm of rain matching her breath, and as she drifted back toward sleep, she imagined the river still moving, still carrying stories, still whispering to anyone willing to listen. The end. As Raquel's journey along the river came to an end, she was left with a quiet sense of belonging, a reminder that even as dreams fade, the gentle current of renewal remains within us. The river, with its soft hum and unwavering flow, teaches us that peace is not always found in significant events or distant destinations, but in the subtle moments when we allow ourselves to be present and open to change. Each ripple carries away what is past, making space for the promise of what's to come. Tonight's story invites us to honor that inner current. Like the river, may your thoughts find their own gentle rhythm, flowing soft, unhurried. Let the day drift downstream and rest in the quiet that remains. Thank you for joining me. Sleep peacefully, and may your dreams carry you kindly. Good night. As this episode comes to a gentle close and the world outside grows quiet, may you find comfort within your own meditation nest. Let your mind settle softly, cradled in the warmth of peace. May tranquility wrap around you, inviting deep rest and serene dreams until dawn. If you'd like to help keep the meditation nest aglow, please consider buying Beth a cup of coffee by visiting ko-fi.com/BethPodcast. Every small kindness helps the light travel a little farther. You can also access a free weekly blog on Substack.com. Check the show notes for links. Until we meet again, rest in the quiet knowing that you are safely held by the night.